been about 100 years since I last made a video, and there's a couple of really good reasons for that. One, I think I'm struggling with the 2020 burnout that we are all struggling with, and yeah, I don't think I need to say more about that. The other thing is that there is something pretty big going on, which I can't share at the moment, but I'm hoping I can soon, but that is chewing up a rather large amount of brain power and time. And also, I have been editing book 3 of the Phoenix series. There is just something about November that I can't get it together and be writing for NaNoWriMo. Last year, I was also in the editing phase, and when my brain is in editing phase, I can like pre-write bits of what's to come in the other books when you're reading through it and you're like, oh, that's right, I need to connect that to that in the next book, and I can do that. But I can't just sit down and like write 50,000 words when my brain's in editing mode. I just can't do it. And last November, I was also in editing mode, and I was like, I'm just going to give this NaNoWriMo a crack. And then the bushfires came, and I had to evacuate my house, and yeah. So it's been a fun 12 months, hasn't it? And anyway, so I've finished the first 2 major edits, and then I like to print it out so I can go through it, because then I'm looking more for fine details and looking for flow of story and things like that. So I'm in heavy editing mode, and I'm also in rereading mode. So I'm going through The Hunted and The Night Rises and rereading those stories. Not because I need to, but because I want to. I want to kind of get in a flow and see how 1 flows through 2, flows through 3, and make sure that I've linked everything that I wanted to in book 3. And then it needs to go off to sensitivity readers, and then it will go off to my editor. But I haven't actually lined any of that up yet, because 2020 has taught us anything, it is to expect the unexpected and just fly by the seat of your pants. So that is how I'm rolling for the rest of this year. I've been reading a fair bit too. Last night I finished My Policeman by Beth Ann Roberts. I have DNF'd a shit ton of books lately, and I will make a video about that too. I managed to get 10 days off work, like cue the celebrations, and I went down to Jarvis Bay again because it's an easy place for me to go currently without spending a fortune. I basically don't have to pay for accommodation, and at the moment, because tourism is kind of opening back up in Australia, most places are either booked out or charging a fortune. So I'm really lucky to have this connection in Jarvis Bay where I can go down and stay for free. I think I've been going down to Jarvis Bay for 10 to 12 years, and I have long been desperate to see a wild echidna and a wombat just walking down the road. Ideally not on the road, because that's not going to end well, but you know what I mean. And I've seen 1 echidna in that entire time of going down. And then this time it was my birthday, and I went down very briefly with my niece and my brother and his family, and then I was mostly by myself. It was awesome. And I saw like 8 echidnas. Every time I went out, they were just walking across the road, walking around, hiding under sticks. It was crazy. And there were a ton of kangaroos, which was really nice, because it was nice to see that the wildlife is coming back, because previously, the last couple of times I visited Jarvis Bay, not so much with the wildlife since the fires. I also went down to sort of Lake Conjola area. I forget what the actual lake is called, but you basically go to Lake Conjola. And there's this area where there are mad stingrays there all the time, because the fishermen are gutting their catch there, and the stingrays just hang out there, and that was kind of awesome to see that. But it was also really sad to see that the bush there still hasn't really started regrowing all that much. You know, that was New Year's Eve, that fire, so it's been nearly 12 months and it's still struggling. But on the plus side, there's a ton of awesome stuff to do down on the south coast, even around Lake Conjola, plus or minus burnt trees. So I would definitely recommend that if you're in New South Wales, you go. To be honest, my head's still down in Jarvis Bay a little bit. I still haven't unpacked, and that's been like 2 weeks at least. But, you know, I mean, that's kind of it. October's been this weird month of trying to finalize a lot of things. a lot of things I can't talk about, but also like finalizing editing and finalizing house rearranging and finalizing work situations, and like taking a break as well. And so I haven't really got a heap to report in terms of like my writing has progressed and I'm doing XYZ, and because I've just been trying to take a break, and I've really realized how stressed I've been and how much that's been affecting me and how much I've had going on and how much I've not been processing it. And that kind of goes for a larger scheme of things. There's a whole bunch of stuff over a number of years that I haven't been processing, so I'm kind of getting kicked in the ass with that at the moment. But I mean, I know it could be a lot worse because we're all watching what's happening in America and just kind of like, oh my god. I also went to the Van Gogh exhibit, which was kind of cool to see all of his paintings projected up onto the walls and the floors. And I had no idea that he did Japanese style paintings or that he was so inspired by them, which was kind of cool. And I saw a whole bunch of paintings that I had never seen before. The only downer of going there was that I forgot to take a mask. I had to buy one when I was there and have had a massive allergic reaction to that mask ever since, because that's where 2020's at, and I'm allergic to 99% of masks. It seems like, even the silk ones, so it's fun. But basically, October's been a kind of a strange month of me mostly finishing off a bunch of stuff or prepping to get ready to do things. And most of them, unfortunately, are things that I can't talk about yet, or I can't really give you much detail on. So therefore, this video is going to be kind of short. And I think really we're probably all distracted by other things anyway, watching what's happening around the world, particularly in America at the moment with the election and how that's playing out. So wherever you are, I hope that you are safe and that you are well and that you are being responsible and socially distancing and washing your hands and wearing a mask, so that we can all get through this faster and just move on to something better than this, because this is not the best. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and to like this video and to check me out on social media. I'm on Instagram and Twitter at PipCoombs. I've been photobombed in a pretty epic way. These pelicans have followed me all the way up the beach, and every time they've just paused right where I was taking photos so that they'd be in it. Dude, not on the oysters! That's such a bad call! Off the oysters! Off the oysters, come on! Yeah, it's not a great choice. Not your best choice.